tractor.
Morning. How's your boots?
Good, good.
How's your boots?
Good.
Boots are still good. Huh?
You're about to do work for the first time.
Sitting in the truck don't count. Yeah, this morning we are doing some grain hauling. We're gonna be hauling some beans. But a lot of the trucks haven't been moved since the last time we harvested double crops, which we still have in a field. So I gotta take that. Got a package from Midland. This isn't a sponsored Midland video or anything, but Midland does have a bunch of sales going on this time of year, folks, so they are the best way to communicate between a tractor and a combine that I have found. So if you're in the market, check them out. Anyways, let's go jump start truck. It's a balancing act. Okay. The old Harbor Freight jump pack. Black to green. Ain't even green. Red to black, black to red. Not really, folks, not really. Oh yeah, we're dead. Just let that sit there and charge for a minute. Last windstorm knocked all my shovels and brooms down. Let her charge for a minute and we should be good to go. Somebody left the heater on, so it's nice and toasty in here at least. It's supposed to get really cold here the next couple days. Today it's supposed to be 60 by the end of the day, but I believe by the end of the week, this is Thanksgiving week, towards the weekend I think we're supposed to be down to 15, so like for the high. We consider that cold here, especially in November. So probably have to take that moisture tester in. We usually try to keep it someplace halfway warm when it's that cold. Let's see what happens now. Just not quite there yet. We're still not starting. We have given up on the jump pack. Called in reinforcements. I think it did less than the jump pack. Well, while we're waiting, I'll just go ahead and take that with us now. So while that truck's charging, it still hasn't started yet. I'm going to get this tractor started and let it just warm up a little bit. Oh, about 3 weeks ago, the weather was nice and we were able to do things. In the field, we left a load of beans on this cart, thinking, oh my God. Great. Awesome. Anyways, we left a load of beans in this grain cart. It's been in the shop until like 2 days ago when BJ pulled it in here. And apparently in those 2 days, the battery died. So fantastic. I was not expecting this. I thought we were just going to start this, let it warm up. Never had this tractor die. This is gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Now someone's gonna say, why don't you put battery tenders on everything? Because we move crap around so often that we don't. If you do, more power to you. Better farmer than I. Definitely a better battery maintainer than I. It's rotten beans. Smells like it too. Dad's over here in his Ranger, see if he'll bring the jump pack. Maybe it'll start this thing. I don't know. It's not super dead, but it's dead enough. Now, it's cold, but it isn't like cold that I would expect everything with a battery to be dead cold. I mean, it's 40 degrees right now. Hopefully this jump pack will be enough. I don't know if it will. We will see. It would also appear that we have a flat tire. Wow! What other fun-filled, exciting things can happen? BJ just took the Thunder Creek because the truck he's getting out of the shed had a flat tire, so wow. All this stuff was in tip-top working shape, no flat tires, all charged batteries a few days ago. Whew. It's gonna be a good day.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Perfect.
The person you're...
Why wouldn't it be? Oh boy, where's the hot prong? Well, let's see what happens. See what happens. I don't know that my Milwaukee tire inflator will air up that LSW very quickly. Might take a couple batteries. Wonder why it's leaking. That's the question now. Probably don't have its winter air. The jump pack saved the day. Redeemed itself for that semi. There we go. Fine. Okay, the situation has improved. Everything's running. BJ just got here with the Thunder Chicken, so we'll have an aired up tire soon. And then we can go over to the old grain bins and get everything fired up there. See what fun-filled, exciting surprises we have over there waiting for us. See, we're trying to keep positive and have a positive attitude. Alrighty, so now we can finally get this thing loaded. By loaded, I mean we've got 10,000 pounds. We don't have much weight on. Memory serves correctly, BJ couldn't stuff everything onto one semi, and this was just what was left on the cart. Last time we used the cart in double crops, which has been since the first week of November. This is the Monday before Thanksgiving. We naively kept thinking that surely by now we would been in one of our fields and had the ability to finish this load off. It is not that we have just been hanging out not doing anything. It is that it has rained, snowed, or rained just enough to keep us from finishing this out. Looking back, what we should have done, we should have stopped running corn for 3 days. There that last week we were really hammering out harvest, and went and finished out the double crop beans, because we would be done right now. There's been multiple days we could have ran corn, because corn doesn't have to be nearly as dry as soybeans, but it's just been too wet to do beans. So we would have been done 2 weeks ago had we done that. We would not have got done quite as early as we were hoping to, but we would have been done by the second week of November instead of rolling into Thanksgiving with 200 acres of double crop beans sitting in a field. Now we can head over. So if you see all that wheat and grass in there, that's really what's keeping us out of the wheat. That wheat has gotten so tall, or had been getting so tall, that it was holding moisture even on days when we could have ran without the wheat. Now normally we would have sprayed that wheat back in July because there'd been enough moisture to make it sprout. You're always going to have volunteer wheat. I don't care what combine you have. Every field around here that had double crops in it has a healthy growing of wheat right now. But since it did not rain enough this spring to get that to sprout, or this summer, it all started sprouting about mid-September, late mid-September, when we started getting a little bit of moisture. So that's it's kind of the unique circumstance we have going on this year. Now, had we quit running corn, like I said, a few days early, and just started running these instead, the wheat was not as tall yet, and plus it had not rained in like 4 weeks at that time, so it wouldn't have been an issue. But today, I would say those beans are dry enough. It's just a matter of how much moisture is in that wheat. We may try it. I know he's kind of itching to try it. We just don't want to plug that chopper again because that sucked. Also, we're winterizing some stuff. Draining all the water out of everything. Preparing for the big freeze. So BJ already cleaned out the hole. So now we're gonna fire this bin up. There's the good stuff. Take some beans out. So we are coring bins today. That is what's gonna be happening. Oh, there's a big rat. Look at that, look at it. That's a big one. He was really close to my foot. Good. Yeah, anywho, we are coring bins today. And probably tomorrow. You do that is to get good, adequate airflow. Whenever you're dumping into a truck, all the crap basically ends up right in the center of the bin. It's hard for air to push up through that. You want to be able to aerate your grain, get good airflow through it, get it nice and cold. That way it doesn't spoil. So to help that process, we usually haul a couple loads out of each bin. We call that coring the bins. Get good airflow, and well, we still need to do that to all the bins. Dad's been cleaning up some of the rotten bean piles and stuff like that in the yard. Apparently we've sprung a leak. I didn't notice till my legs started getting cold. Looky there, we're double pumping. Twice as fast. Cargill is closed right now, so we are topping trucks off for tomorrow. Morning. So today we're going to try to finish this contract up. We have, I think, 4 loads to haul. So let's see what we can do. Today we're pulled out of the bin with our GSI grain view on it. I'll show you a little bit about that because today GSI is the sponsor of the video. So we've had the grain view on this bin for 2 years now. We'll go over here and start our truck, and while it's airing up, I'll show you the grain view. We did get some more rain last night, unfortunately. It's so strange. A month ago we were begging for rain. I bet this month we've had more rain than we'd had all summer combined. The last 2 weeks, really. It's got quite soggy. You can tell the cold front's moving in too because it's chilly. So I'll walk you over here to the control center of the grain view. Basically, we have a weather station right here and an antenna, and there's a bunch of moisture cables. That's what that wire is going to. Inside the bin, and it is reading those cables to see temperature and moisture. It's going to alert me when we have a hot spot, which would mean that we have grain spoiling. And also I can set parameters that I want to try to hydrate that grain to or dry that grain to. We put a lot of beans in this bin at 7 to 8%, which is way too dry. But the beans just dried down extremely fast this year because of the heat. So if we can hydrate those bins just a little bit, we're making money. Dry beans are 13%. If we can get these beans 11, 12%, that starts adding up pretty quick. It's a very easy thing to pay for, especially if you live in foggy conditions and you've had issues with spoiling grain bins, which we have, and I don't like. A couple years ago, I shoveled most of that bin out, and that's when we put that grain view on there. I was not a fan of that. Not a fan. But I'll show you a screen recording of what the interface looks like. We'll just go through that on my phone real quick. Here you can see what the website and interface looks like. In this particular bin, we have 3 moisture cables. You get a 3D image of the bin and the cabling. This bin's half full. As you can see, we've got half of the sensors lighting up, showing the moisture, and here I'm toggling between temperature, moisture content, and if they're in crop or not. So as you can see, we've got anywhere from a 47 down to 35. At the bottom, you're going to have usually drier, cooler grain because you're closer to the airflow. And over here we can see notifications, as well as our dashboard. Now, when I clicked on the dashboard, I noticed that our fan is not running. There's been a signal for that fan to kick on. It did not happen. So now we know that. I can go over and check to see what's going on with the fan. Why is it not kicking on? Maybe we have a blown breaker, something along those lines. But either way, I've got a notification telling me that that's happening. We also have our target set here. Our target set for 35 degrees and 13% moisture. Then we can see what the weather station's showing and all that good stuff, as well as percentage of full. But yeah, that's a little bit of the grain view. So far, we really like that system. I would love to have more of those, but to be honest, with this older grain system, we're still trying to figure out what exactly we want to do going forward. I know I get this a lot of times about we should just start over. I would love to, and eventually that would be a great plan. I'd love to take all these bins out, maybe leave one of those for a holding bin or something, and put a 80,000 bushel bin up. And that'd be about the same storage, and we'd only have one headache instead of 6. But we just haven't got there yet. It still is a very functional bean facility. That's why we keep it. That's why we just keep beans here. It is quick enough to dump beans and stay ahead of the combine. But speaking of beans, we better go get in the semi. Waiting on a train. So BJ's still loading out, so get in line behind him. We can load out now pretty quick with both downspouts running. Problem is just keeping the holding bin pumped up. You almost need someone sitting here just to keep the holding bin pumping while you're at Cargill. Trailer that we're using here, the one BJ's pulling, is a smaller trailer. Doesn't hold quite as much. And beans, it's not a big deal. And corn, in corn it's not a big deal. And beans, it kind of sucks. He's really struggling to get really over 900 bushel in it because the test weight's so low on these beans. One day I'd really like to see this turn into a new EB trailer, but I don't think this year's going to be the year. I see you came to work 3 hours late.
That's it, I'm not going. 3 hours late? I've been doing stuff.
I think Mrs. Brown's favorite part of the holiday season is her Christmas sweaters.
Yeah.
So we just scaled in. Looks like our moisture's coming in at 10.9. So these beans went in there pretty freaking dry. I mean, we were anywhere from 7 to 9% moisture. So might have rehydrated, might have blended some too, so that's a lot better than hauling in the 7.5% beans that we harvested. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you would, do me a favor, thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and drop us a comment. Also, if you're looking for Christmas ideas, Farm Focus does have several things to offer supporting our brand. So if you like the channel, you want to support the brand, and you want something in return, you know, you can get you a Brown Farms hat, t-shirt, sweatshirt, beanies, stickers, all sorts of good stuff. Check that. There'll be a link in the description. If you want that by Christmas for any kind of Christmas gifts, order sooner rather than later is the best advice I can give you.